Hello, Denise at Junk Journal Junkie UK. Just popped on this morning to do a video sharing with you how I'm going to make a couple of toppers for my covers, some journal covers that I'm about to make, and I'm going to do an Edith Holden one and a Flower Fairy one. I'm going to make them smaller than this one, but this is the sort of thing I'm doing. So this is one inspired by Natasha at Treasure Books, and I think she said she'd seen it on Johanna cloth, but I'm not sure. But I saw it with Natasha. So it's basically just a piece of cardstock with some book page behind it, stitched if you want to, but it doesn't have to be, and then a picture on the front and a bit of embellishment, and that's it. I don't think I've got a journal here big enough for this one, and I should pop it on that one I've got there. Does just fit on there, but I think it's slightly big for that, but that's kind of the effect that we're going for. So I'm going to make a couple smaller ones because I've got some smaller journals, and I've started getting the stuff ready, so I'm not doing lots of boring things in front of you. So I think I said I'm going to do a Flower Fairy and an Edith Holden one. Put those to one side. So I've just torn down a couple of pieces of, it is just ordinary A4 cardstock, and I'm going to ink the edges where all the rough, I left the rough on because I like it. Sometimes you try and nibble that off, we don't want it, but I'm going to really heavily ink the edges on these so that they really stand out, as you can see perhaps on that one, if you can see a bit of it. Oops. And I'm going to do a little bit of stamping in the background of this. Now it will be covered over with the picture, as you can see, but bits of the stamp will poke through. You can see there I've got some gold and some black on that one, and I think I'll probably do the same, dropping bits off this on there. Probably do the same black and gold onto here. I've just realised I haven't got my stamps and the ink out, so I might have to make a bit of a noise doing that. They are here near me, so that won't take me too long. Okay, so I am starting to build up my stash to create a Flower Fairies journal. If you saw the video that I uploaded yesterday, you'll have seen me make a sort of snippet roll, and I used it on an envelope. I don't think it's here. No, it's not. But I used some more of the snippet that we made. I'll leave that while I do this. And I did it on a Flower Fairy page envelope. So just to show you how that snippet can be used as well. Okay, so that's enough there. So we're going to stamp the back of it. Let me just grab my ink out, if you bear with me. So I've got some Stays On Black, and I've just got a Dovecraft, I think, Dovecraft Gold, and a butterfly stamp. So you can see on this big one, bits of it poke through, which shows that, or suggests that perhaps there's something on that page. It was a page of something beforehand. So I've just got a big florally stamp that I'll just dot around. So you don't have to do it in the middle, because that is definitely going to be covered. I think the pictures that I've chosen for these are not quite as, don't cover up quite as much of the book page, I don't think. So if you choose different parts of your stamp as well, you should in theory get a different look. I should have had some paper under that, shouldn't I? That's what I've done. Oh naughty, let me find a piece. Okay, I'll clean that up as soon as I've done. Especially seeing as it stays on ink, so it's not going to come off easy. Although my mat is rather well, shall we say, well loved rather than used. Okay, so I've just got a butterfly and a corner stamp on there. It's just how I got them out of my drawer actually earlier on. So, and again, I'm not bothering too much about the middle, because it is going to be, and again you can do that as You can be as precise or not as you want to. Okay, that's all that needs. And then for the book page, you can stitch or not stitch. I've got one of each ready here. I've got a stitched one and it's got the brown thread in it. I'm going to perhaps put on that one, I think, because it's smaller. And maybe that one there, I'm not going to stitch that one. I couldn't decide between book page and music page would also work well. But I think that's going to need to be torn down because it's quite big. So I think the flower fairy, yeah, I think she needs to be on the bigger one. And I've cut just a couple of small pieces from a spare page from the Edith Holden. I didn't want to use the beautiful big images and pages that I'm going to use for other things. So I've got a little wood sorrel and a little butterfly. Yep. And I think I definitely need to tear this paper down on here because it's far too big for the image that's on it. And I haven't inked around these yet. I'm going to ink around them, which will make them pop a little bit more from the page again. Let's try that. Yep, it's very colourful, that, and it's getting lost in the page, so I'll try something behind. That's also colourful, isn't it? No, that's not doing it. Let's try. If we try it behind the book page, maybe. Let's see what that does. Whoops. Possibly. And just try it in front to be sure. We lose the book page then completely, don't we? I think we'll have it just poking out behind just to relief. Perhaps bring it off at an angle. So what I'll do is I'll ink around the book pages because that will make a huge difference to how they look. So let's take this one off and do one at a time. So we think that's going on there. We'll give this a really good ink around the edge again. I'm doing it as quick as I can, but I want it really dark around the edge to show the contrast. And I didn't want to do everything off camera. Okay. What do we think? Do we want it that side or do we want it that side? I seem to put everything on the left, but I quite like this fancy edge here, so let's go for the right for a change. Yeah, I think I quite like that. Don't think I got any. Wasn't very well prepared, was I? I didn't get any lace or anything out. A couple of bits there. Maybe a piece of cream on this one, seeing as it's all white. All pink. Can't tell me colours this morning. Okay, so what do we want on it? A sentiment or a word? So just like everything I do, this one's becoming quite well bling. No, that's not what I'm looking for. This, excuse my arm, this is what I'm looking for. Not really what I wanted. I was just digging through that. That's Tracy Fox labels. Can't get it back in now. What I was looking for was words and sentiments. That's what I said, which is in the next drawer. Look. So we've got believe. Want something that's going to pop. What about green? Charming. Still gets lost a little bit. Did I just see there? Seedling. Oh, that's lost it again now. seedling might be good because there's a flower fairy and there's a baby flower fairy there. So I think we'll have seedling on there. That's a good one. Just wants trimming back a bit. And then we'll start sticking everything down on here. See it come together. So I'm wondering if maybe some stitching around this might have also pulled it out a little bit. Glue stick. Oh no. We want Fabri-Tac for doily. It's the best thing for it. I'll just be a bit, because everything else will be holding it down. That's it. Well, I might as well use it for everything now I've got it open. For speed's sake, I'm loving the flower fairy images that I'm cutting out of the book. It's taken me a long time because the pages are so beautiful, a bit like the Edith Holden thing everybody struggles with. The pages are so beautiful on the two books that I've got. It's taken me ages to want to cut them up, to be fair. Are we having it this way or this way? This way a bit, I think. Yeah, and that'll leave room for the lace up there. No, wrong one again. So I would use Fabri-Tac on this one anyway because the book page is a little bit shiny and I want to make sure it stays in place long term. I hope the light's okay. It's a little cloudy today here. I'm in Lincolnshire, the UK. It's still very warm, but it's really dark. I don't think it's going to rain, it is just clouds, but it plays havoc with the light when you're trying to film. Okay, so just a little bit of cream and seedling across there. Yes, I like that. Yeah, I think that's come together nicely. Again, just a smidge of Fabri-Tac on there because what I put on here on the word will hold it down. Whoops, squeak. That's it, just tap it down with a dry wipe. Yeah, and that's that one done. I like it. Okay, so let's go on to the Edith one. So this is the one that's stitched around, but still needs, is that the way around we want it? I think I might just take a little bit off that corner, let a little bit more of that bit what's behind it show the stamping on the corner here. Yeah, and again we're going to fairly heavily ink around the edge. I mean, I'm using Vintage Photo. It's not the darkest of browns, but I am doing it quite heavily so it's dark. I mean, you could do it in any colour to match whatever you think the topper might be going on. I mean, these toppers don't have to go on journals. They could go on large journaling cards or even on a page inside your journal. And of course you can make them any size at all. So you could do them a third of that size and make them little tag toppers. And you certainly could do like a mass make a good few at once and have them in stock, which would be a brilliant idea. I might get around to doing that one of these fine days. So we're going to go with, oh, it's a beautiful pussycat in my garden. It's not mine. Hello. Shall we go with pink lace on this one? Not quite so much. I don't know about the pink because Edith is a very yellow book, but yeah, I think a little bit of relief. I'm wondering if to put some just in underneath instead of where we put the doily on the other one. Yeah, that's quite nice. Oh, there you go. And then we'll go for a word on the book page then. What shall we have for this one? Garden. Oh, purple. We don't want purple. I quite liked that black one. Let's go for another black one. charming, hopeful, blossom. I think these words, I'm pretty sure these words that I've got here are from Artie Mays. Hopeful, I like that one. And I'm wondering if we could have this on a piece of cream lace. There's no reason why we can't have two coloured laces, they're both pastel-y. Let's have a look. We can always take it off if we don't like it. Just sometimes things like this make what you're putting on them stand up, stand out. Yep, I quite like it, so I'm going to go for it, of course. You knew I would, didn't you? Right, let's take everything off then. Tiny bit of, I nearly said blue tack then, it's not blue tack, Fabri-Tac. Squeak. That's it, lie down. And then this. I think my neighbour is now shouting for a cat. Yes, I like the way there's quite a bit of the stamped background showing around there. And I definitely like the 2 rows of wiggly stitching. That's give it a bit of personality, definitely. I'm going down off the page. Yeah, I like it quite low down, that. Lower down than I had it earlier, I think. And if I find I've got a gap that I don't like, I can always add a ticket or some such thing. I mean, obviously you could put a great big beautiful Edith picture on here out of the Edith Holden Country Diary, but I'm just using up some little bits that were spare. Yeah, I think I quite like him in mid-air. We're having that lace up there with the word, so that will fill that in. Yeah. And as I look at it, I think this one might even need a tag when we come to use it. I won't put it on because it could end up being a side either way. A side, oh, I was thinking it was a journal card. It could be a journal card, I suppose. And it certainly doesn't want a tag if it, well, I don't see why it couldn't have a tag on you. Put enough on that. On your journal cover. I was thinking I was doing a tag. Excuse the shouting outside. Right, do we think that one is too? No, sometimes less is more. Let's go with less is more because I went over the top with the other one. So those are the 2 that we've done. This is the one that I started out with. Don't know if you can see that there. Yes, I'm really pleased with those. I've not really got the right colour journal next to me to show you what they'll be like on, but that's sort of the size on a, that's just short of an A5, that I think, about an A5. So obviously the wrong colour. Could have done with a different colour journal, and you can see how that one is. I had a different colour journal, didn't I, with that one on it? What have I done? Oh, it was that one that went a bit fussy, although it's nice. Okay, hope you enjoyed watching me do that. I certainly enjoyed doing them. Thank you very much for joining me. Please comment, give me a thumbs up, or if you possibly could subscribe, it would help me no end. And bearing all that, hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow with a video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.